Good morning, everyone. Hi. Good to see you all. I hope no one's hangovered after last night. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us for day 3 of our sessions. Today is my day, so you're with me the whole day. Oh, jolly. So we'll start with a bit of energy. I do want to start off this day by giving a community update, but most of the sessions this day will focus on the work streams. A lot of the people in the room are doing a lot of the work. So you can consider this like sort of your show and tell what's been happening the whole PI and giving your feedback. And the reason why we also put this on this particular day is because it feeds into the product conversations we will have tomorrow. For those of you guys who aren't aware, we will spend the day 3 historically has been very different from what it looks like tomorrow. And our focus will be to try and get some agreement on what constitutes or what our roadmap, product roadmap will look like. That said, a couple of housekeeping items. No, I think we're good. Why don't we kick it off? So in this update, I want to focus on 2 things. Oh, hello to all the people on Zoom. I see you all, attendees and panelists alike. Thank you for joining. For this community update, I'm going to focus on 2 things. Community focus and the community governance elections. It is now 10:04. If you're on the Mojaloop mailing list at exactly 10:10, you should get an email that coincides with the second bullet. Let's start with community focus. You heard this from Steve on Tuesday, but I think it's worth reiterating to everyone from a community perspective, not just a foundation perspective. These, Steve told us, are what he's been hearing from the market in terms of what they need, making adoption easier, achieving scale, and being able to connect to other systems. And Steve sort of painted this as a pillar of which underpinning it is having a quality Mojaloop product. It was very intriguing to hear somebody give the example of a car. And the car has all these different pieces. And we discussed this with Jane the other day, where you've got a really good engine, you've got the steering wheel, air conditioning, seats, and you can have a very basic car, or you can have a luxurious car. Part of this process we're going through today and tomorrow is defining what that car is. So I guess in some ways you can look at this as sort of the car. What's the engine? What are the bells and whistles that sort of gets the car moving? And that's a pillar we have there. Drilling down a little bit, you will notice some of the topics we've been discussing fall quite neatly into each of those buckets. In terms of making adoption easier, there's things like focused messaging, adoption toolkit, infrastructure. We will start this morning with a whole, I think it's 4 sessions on infrastructure. That's something I'm excited about. And then portals as well. For driving scale, you mostly talk about 3PPI and merchant payments. You will hear about both today as well. And then connecting with other systems or working with other systems, we had an excellent cross-border morning session yesterday, digital public goods interoperability and modularity of adjacencies. So what does this mean? Not just from a foundation perspective, but from a community perspective. That's you and I, all of us in this room. And this is something I'm hoping we can wrap in our minds and sort of build it into the core spirit of how we operate in going into the next PI and into the next year. You are still allowed to do whatever it is that you want to do. No one's stopping you from doing that, right? This is a community. And open source people often contribute to the things they feel deeply passionate about. You're more than welcome to do that. However, the Mojaloop Foundation, from the foundation perspective, the community governance perspective, our team, our resources will focus on the pillars that we just mentioned. The community, in the intention, when I talk about the Mojaloop Foundation, also including its structures, the design authority, the community council, the product council, the marketing steering group, a lot of our focus will be based on these pillars here. Thought leadership efforts will focus on those pillars as well. Grant programs will focus on those pillars. Time and presentations at the convening, as you've already seen the last few days, will focus exclusively on those pillars. And tomorrow, the product roadmap will be based will be developed from those pillars. So it would be, I would strongly suggest, I can only do that from a community perspective, that we reorient our community thinking around this model and what it means. So in the work that you choose to do, in the work streams that you participate in the conversations that you have, whether that's a work stream meeting or a governance meeting, or if it's throwing around ideas at the product council for consideration, or collectively building a roadmap, please try and constrain your thoughts around, or model your thoughts, that's probably a better word, around this model, this pillar. Are we all together? Awesome. This is great. This is excellent. I'm taking a minute to let it sink in, because I can see like it's buzzing in like people's minds and slowly settling. So it will take some time, and anyone from the foundation, particularly Steve, Paul, making myself, I'm more than happy to help you figure out where in this structure you fit in, and how you can meaningfully contribute towards this focus. I have quickly come to learn that whenever I give a presentation at the convening, people take it seriously. I'll give an example. 2 or 3 PIs ago, I put David Fry on the spot on infrastructure, and now we have a whole infrastructure morning with lots of great updates. So I'm hoping adding my voice to this pillar makes it stronger in your minds. Hopefully, yes, no? Thank you, good, I appreciate that. Thank you, I feel nice now, thank you. All right, keep this in mind. This will particularly be important as we go through the day-to-day, and particularly tomorrow. The intention is to leave here with a product roadmap. So first of all, thank you for being in the room. Those guys on Zoom, this is an incentive for you to join us in person next time, so that when we have these conversations, please do find some strength and energy to be in the room and to contribute the thoughts that you have towards building our product roadmap. This will happen tomorrow. I cannot overemphasize that. So I know generally towards the end of a conference week, everyone's tired because of early mornings, late nights, but please try and find the strength for tomorrow. Very important. It is 11 minutes past 10, either in your spam folder or in your main inbox if you unblocked us. You probably have an email from the Moodle Foundation officially announcing the community governance elections. I cannot overemphasize this point. We are a community. Community decisions are made collectively by all of us. Now, sometimes it gets complicated and we have to choose representatives to speak on our behalf. And those representatives are the folks that you will be choosing this month, for the next 1 month. We have 3 groups, governance groups in the Mojo Loop community. We have the Community Council, which is the representative governing body of the entire Mojo Loop community. And there are some guidelines, but if you've been actively contributing and participating in the community for the last 1 year, you are eligible to sit and participate in the Community Council, right? There are 9 seats, all are open at this time. No one is locked out. From next year, some will be locked out, but at this point, no one is locked out. Everyone is open to participate. The Design Authority has 5 seats all open. These are the people who steer the technical direction for the Module Foundation with oversight from the TGB, the Technical Governing Board. So that's also open. And the Change Control Board, which governs the APIs, there are two openings, the rapporteur and the convener. The current Community Council co-chair is Sam Kumari. Sam, if you just want to wave, because I'm not sure everybody knows you there. So that's Sam. The current chair for the Design Authority is Mr. Michael Richards. He's here somewhere. There he is. The Change Control Board, funny enough, the rapporteur, I believe, is Michael Richards again. And the convener is Sam again. So all those, and I just want to thank everybody for the active participation in these groups. I'd like to recognize those of us who are here to just stand up so that you understand and to thank them for the work that they've done in each of these groups over the last year. The Community Council members who are here, if I can please ask you to stand, the ones who served in the last year. Excellent. Please, a big round of applause for these guys for all the work they've done in the last year. Thank you so much. Design Authority folks, please stand, the ones who are here. Excellent. Thank you so much for your work. And then Sam and Michael, please stand again for the Change Control Board. Is there anyone else on the CCB? There is, Miguel. Yes. Thank you. A big round of applause for them. Awesome. So I just want to give a quick timeline of the elections that will and how it will proceed. From today, officially, until the Friday, 4th of November, that is Friday next week, we need you to do two things. In order to vote, you have to register to vote. Whether you've registered in the past or not, that's irrelevant. You have to all register fresh. So between today and next week, you need to register to vote. And then you can also nominate someone or self-nominate for any of the positions available, which is Community Council, Design Authority, and the Change Control Board. So please do, once you see the email, there's a blog post on it as well. Please go in, find the form, fill it out. You can register and choose not to nominate or self-nominate, that's fine as well. But we do encourage you to submit some names. The more the participation, the better it is for everyone. On Monday, 7th November through Thursday, November 10th, we'll be doing what we call a slate preparation. So if you are nominated, we will need to come and ask you if you want to accept the nomination. So that's what we'll be doing that time. And then from Friday, November 11th to Tuesday, November 15th, that is a voting period. Each person will get an individual voting ballot. Cast your vote over that period of time. Please don't use your skills to hack into our server. Monday, 21st November, Wednesday, 16th to Friday, 18th November, we'll just be confirming that everything is according to process. And then on Monday, 21st November, we will have a blog announcement announcing all the members of the various committees. So it's a bit of a long process, but it's necessary to keep it like that at this particular point in time. It hasn't changed. For those of you guys who've done elections last year, participated in the elections last year, it's the same process. Nothing has changed, so you should already be familiar with it. And right, yes, for those on Slack, in the chat, Megan has posted the links. So please go right in there and see what's going on. Then the last week of November, just before December, the beginning of December, we have Transition Week, which is when the old committees and the new committees will have their initial meetings to do handovers, and then the new team takes charge from December. So please keep this in mind. Thank you very much. I do hope and encourage your participation. And I hope we will enjoy the rest of the day. So I will quickly pass it over to Steve to kick us off the next session.